Stage. Oh, there we go. Let's do that. Is there a lot? Oh, you gotta mute that.
Yeah, can hear it.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
All
Hit music.
Let's do it.
Everyone's phones are on silent.
Everyone on silent?
Yeah.
All right. I think Ty is just around the corner.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
It's just a loop.
Just yeah. Yeah, you can fade it out.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everybody, from wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to a very special episode of All Things Basketball. And I know you're wondering, who's this? Yes, I'm not GD, your regular host. But today is a very special episode. And we are at episode number 200. Oh, I should have brought my drums or horn. I'm not used to being at 200 yet, so work with me. So no, we got acting champagne right here. So it's called acting champagne. So yeah.
Drinks up.
Drinks up to that. So yeah, we got some people on. Let's just say all things time. So they'll be here too.
Yes.
But yeah, you know who you are. And, so I am the intro host, Raphael Harry, and I'm the host of White Label American podcast for those who do not know. And I'm honored to be the person introducing our esteemed host of all things basketball. And I just want to say congratulations to my brother and say how proud I am of you getting this far. And when you get to 400 episode, I'll be here again to announce and do the intro and hand over the mic to you, and then you introduce our other guests on the podcast. And then when our extra guests who are on All Teams Time show up, we will I guess I might jump in again and introduce them, but they'll be here. They're flying. Special flight. Maybe it's not Spirit Airlines. They're not sponsoring this podcast. So
watch out, that's Ocho's airline.
Okay, yeah. He got his sponsor. He got money. We accept gold coins, gold bars. We'll take silver too. But yeah, congratulations again, and let's jump into it. Congratulations, my brother. So I hand over the mic to our official and esteemed host.
Thank you, my brother, and welcome, my peeps. This is episode 200 for the All Things Basketball with GD podcast. I'm here in studio. Shout out to Raphael Harry for allowing me to be here. I definitely appreciate that, brother. So, and also I got my buddy of, I don't even want to count the years, but it's been over 40 years I've been running with this cat right here. And that's and you hear me talk about him on the show all the time. My boy D is here. So
thank you for having me. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anytime you hear me talk about me and my boy D was talking about this, that's the person. So yeah. So let's get right into it. Let's not delay. Let's start with we'll do college basketball first. Here's a rundown. We'll recap the men's and the women's finals. We'll recap that. And then from there, I got a few more comments in terms of Caitlin Clark. I'll touch that. I'll do the NBA draft right quick, and then we'll talk about the NBA playoff scenarios. So that's the way it'll go down for today. So let's get right into it. UConn on Monday, they beat Purdue 75-60. And in doing that, Coach Dan Hurley and the Huskies, back-to-back championships. The first time that has happened since 2006, 2007, and that was done by the Florida Gators, coached by Billy Donovan. Remember that team with Joakim Noah and those guys. So it's we come up on that, and they're the 8th school to have back-to-back championships. And oh, by the way, UConn is 6-0 when it comes to final games. So pretty impressive stuff.
So you don't want to face UConn in the final.
You don't want to. That's an automatic L. Definitely. So, and as far as UConn, Tristan Newton, he had 20 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Stephon Castle, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Donovan Klingden, their center. And he has an interesting story, guys. When he wears his number 32, it's in honor of his mom, his mom, Stacy, who played at Maine, and they made the NCAA tournament 3 times back in the day. So definitely shout out to him for giving honor to his mom. In that game, he had 11 points and 5 rebounds, and their star player, Cam Spencer, with 11 points and 8 rebounds. For Purdue, of course, you have to talk about Zach Edey, 37 points for him, 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. And when you talk about Zach Edey, a lot of people are talking about the draft coming up and where he'll be picked and so forth. And if this was the 80 and the 90s, I would say he would definitely be amongst the top 3 picks. But this is a different NBA now. They want their big men to be able to go out and shoot the 3, and he just doesn't have that. And I don't know, his game reminds me of when I was watching. Remember Brian Reeves for the Vancouver?
You're talking about the legendary Big Country.
Big Country, yes. That's who his game reminds me of. Not nimble of foot, but effective. And that's who he reminds me of.
Oh, Big Country also used to give Shaq a problem.
He gave Shaq the business. And anytime you hear Shaq talk about the tough centers he faced, he'll mention Brian Reeves. So he's kind of a throwback.
Yeah, didn't we see Big Country play at the Garden? Yeah, we did see Big Country play at the Garden.
I'm sure we did. Yeah.
Because he was actually Big Country.
Yes, he was. He definitely was. So that's who he reminds me of. And in this draft, I don't even know who's amongst the lottery picks as far as that goes. But Zach Edey, I guess he'll be a lottery pick. I don't even know. So we'll see what happens with him. And then another question I have, what's up with him not being able to get this NIL money because he's Canadian? I think NCAA got to fix that.
It's only for American-born players.
But,
Really?
yeah. Yep.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. I think he could get some money off the jerseys sales.
Yeah, that's only money he makes off jersey sales.
But beyond that, he doesn't get anything else, like no sponsorships or anything like that.
I learned something new with this NIL money.
They got to fix that. But yeah, so Zach Edey, their star player there, balled out. Although some people say it was a quiet 37 points. I don't know how you score 37 points quietly, but that's another story. And then Brayton Smith, 12 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. So it was a good game. But with UConn, with them, they'll let them hang. They'll let a team hang with them. And then once they go on those runs, forget about it. It's game over. And that's the way it shook out. So shout out to UConn Huskies for getting it done. Dan Hurley, once again, doing his thing over there. I think he's got this whole thing figured out as far as how to manage the transfer portal and all the NIL stuff. I think he's really at the top of his game and when it comes to that. So, and then they were trying to get him to commit to saying, should he consider Kentucky? He said, "Hey, ask my wife." So smart man.
A smart man from Jersey City.
He knows. Happy wife, happy life.
That's
So
right.
he's not going over there. He's the king. He's the king of Connecticut, so he's
Uh-huh.
good to go. So basically that ties a bow on that. And then Purdue being in the finals, it was their first time since 1969. I was
Ooh.
actually alive. Not to tell my age or anything, but I was alive for it. Just put it that way. And that's when they faced the mighty UCLA with John Wooden and, of course, Lou Alcindor and that crew. So shout out to Purdue for making it that far. So, all right. So we'll just tie a bow on that. So that's the men's. Let's talk about the women. The women was played Sunday afternoon, and it was kind of what the NCAA was hoping for. South Carolina versus Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa Hawkeyes, of course, with Caitlin Clark. I'll talk about her in a minute. So we have the game there. I watched that as well as I watched the men. And it was a good game. It was competitive up until about the first quarter or so. And the thing was, Caitlin Clark, after one quarter, 18 points. So Dawn was like, you know what? I got to do something different here. And Raven Johnson raised the hand and said, let me take the assignment. And after that, it was kind of lights out for Caitlin after that.
Yeah, didn't she just finish with 12 points?
Yeah, 12 points on 5 of 20 shooting.
That's the defense wins championships.
Hello. And that's a saying that the late Pat Summers always said. Offense gets you the people, but defense wins you the championships. So South Carolina prevails 87-75. They are the 10th team to go undefeated. And the last one was UConn Huskies, the Lady Huskies, back in 2015 and 16. That was a team led by, of course, Breanna Stewart. That was actually her second time going undefeated, along with Mariah Jefferson was on that team, Morgan Tuck, a freshman named Naphesia Collier, who's balling out in the WNBA. So you had that crew there. But Dawn Staley, 3-time champion, she reaches the likes of the late Pat Summitt, of course. She has 8. Gino Auriemma with 11. And then Kim Mulkey, last year, she got her 4th, leading LSU to that championship. And in that game, and Dawn Staley knows how to spread the wealth there, 9 players played 14 minutes or more for her. And that's kind of how you have to do it, you know? You have to have a deep bench because, remember, you play the one game one day and then 2 days later you got to come back. So that's puts a lot of pressure on your starting 5. So you have to have a bench, guys.
But Dawn Stanley had a bench like that all year, and that's one thing she recruits.
Yes.
She tells people, "You're not going to get 35 minutes here. You're not going to be you're probably not going to be the superstar. But we have a system here. You're going to play.
Yes,
you're going to play, and you're going to play defense.
Yes, and players want to come into that situation. A player like Tihana Powell, she came from Oregon and over to South Carolina. And she was willing to sacrifice her game. And plus, they needed the outside shooting anyway. And she was glad to do it. So when you have players that buy in, and also, too, she plays her freshman. And I think that's what hurt Kim Mulkey. She didn't play her freshman. In fact, you got one of them going into the transfer portal now, Janae Kent. But, yeah, you have to play these freshmen. And then sometimes on the big stage, you never know. And look at what Tessa Johnson did. 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting. And she was pretty good from 3, very good from 3, and 4 rebounds. And, of course, their anchor, Camila Cardoza, 15 points for her, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. She's going to be something else on the next level. I'll talk about her when I talk about the WNBA draft. And then Raven Johnson. She only had the 3 points. Everybody will say, oh, she shot 1 of 11. She did the most important thing that Dawn Staley could have wanted. She put the clamps on Caitlin Clark, and that's all you can ask of her.
Yeah.
She had a redemption tour after last year. After last year, she was basically embarrassed because Caitlin turned her back on it, so telling her to shoot, and she didn't shoot.
Yes,
she waved at her, and she didn't shoot.
Yes,
but Raven stepped up and was as one of the true leaders of South Carolina.
Yes, she did. The 3 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, one in which she ripped Caitlin Clark twice, and then 2 blocks as well. So she definitely did her thing in that regard. And then on the Iowa side, we talk about Caitlin Clark, 30 points, 10 of 28 shooting. And then, of course, I mentioned the 5 of 20 that she had from the second quarter on because of the tough defense that Raven Johnson played. And then also Kate Martin, 16 points, 5 rebounds, and Hannah Stolke, who had a monster game in the Final Four, only 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 block shots. And as I begin to talk about Caitlin Clark, we have a guest up in here.
All right. Hey, we have the person who was on all-time time. He had to jump through a parachute.
The latest of times.
You know, the parachute landed right on top of the studio.
Yeah,
no, it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
The New York trains are, they messed up right now.
So. Yeah, I was on the phone with Eric Adams. Like, let my boy in.
Yo, no 2 trains are going to Manhattan at all.
Wow.
Like, at all. Like, I had to take the Metro North over here and then take the 4 train all the way here.
Wow.
So,
wow. Okay.
But we here.
Yes.
Did it for you.
Let me introduce you in. Ty, the pod guy.
Hey,
He's part of my network, Black Podcasters Association. He has a podcast where he covers sports and wrestling.
I did. We paused it for a minute just to get the rebranding on foot. But I'm not gonna lie, I do miss covering the sports topics on a regular basis. I think just pausing it for a minute and still being in I think more now being, more into the news, into the narratives and everything. I'm like, I'm itching to bring it back. So I'm looking at how I can do it in a very simple way, not putting too much on myself, but I do miss the sports show.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Glad to have you aboard.
Thank you.
aboard. And we was just talking about South Carolina beating Iowa on Sunday in the ladies finals. And actually, I want to get to a topic now. What is the fine line between critique and straight hating? Ooh. And I don't know if you guys heard Diana Taurasi. She made comments to Scott Van Pelt, and she was talking about, and this is the thing that a lot of people, they like to run away with. She was talking about all of the rookies, not just Caitlin Clark. She was talking about all of the rookies, how they're going to have this reality check that coming into the league with grown ladies, got mortgages. Some of them have kids. So, you're going to be facing these ladies here who's not going to just give up their spot. So with that said, what is the fine line between critique and straight hating? I'm at a loss because, and I was listening to Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, and they were talking about like somebody of Taurasi's caliber, or her resume, she should be able to give honest critique.
Absolutely.
That's the way I see it. Yeah. But a lot of people call it hate. Oh, they're not making enough money. Caitlin's drawing all this crowd. Why not just welcome her in? And I don't know if you guys remember when LeBron came in the league?
That was going to be my example.
His own teammates was hating on him. What are we doing here?
Wasn't the coach hating on him too?
Yes.
Yeah. Paul Silas. God rest his soul, but he was hating on him. He was hating on him. He was giving him a hard time.
And even today, Victor Wembanyama, when he was coming into the league.
Yep.
they were hating on him. So what are we even talking about here?
I was hating on him because it was like,
There you go. I mean, that's
Here's one
honesty.
person, see?
I was hating on him. It was like a tall Frenchman. Like, I'm supposed to be intimidated by him. Like, who did you play?
Yeah, but the boy got skills.
He has skills. Now he proved he has skills.
Yeah.
I mean, it even goes beyond basketball. I think in every sport you see when there's a young prodigy that pops up on the scene and they're coming into the professional league, veterans aren't just supposed to, there's a difference between veterans welcoming them in and veterans of telling you, hey, we're going to still treat you like a pro. You're coming to face the pros now.
Yeah,
We're going to welcome you as a pro now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different from you dominating the kids. And some will use welcoming language. Some will use it's gonna get real now.
Yeah.
Right. No, you're right.
And
Yeah. That's fine.
some, the way they say it's gonna get real is a language of I got bills to pay, so I ain't looking at you like you're 16 or you're 15, 17 or 18. I got bills to pay, so I'm gonna take you down if I have to take you down.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I don't give a damn about you. So I'm gonna be, I don't care if you're on my team. We're gonna fight for a spot. And I guess it's this age of social media.
Yes, that too.
Some just feel like everything is you didn't throw roses at me, so you hate me. Not everything is hate.
Yes.
Some people just talk in for a better way, lack of a better way of saying it. It's just real.
Yeah.
That's it. No filter to their way of talking. Fine. I'd rather take that than somebody coming and say, I'll give you a hug, and then you stabbing me in the back. Which do you prefer? So I'm a big soccer fan. We had Freddie Adu how many years ago? He was supposed to be America's biggest star. At 16, got the largest contract American player ever had at that point in time. That guy never matured to anything. And many people, I think it was that unnecessary praise. He was lifted above everybody. And I bet you if you go back and look, a lot of his teammates hated him. Many people didn't want him to excel, but everybody was just throwing roses at him. He's going to be the next big thing. And then as soon as he stepped to Europe, everybody was like, what the hell is this? You're coming from America. They don't respect Americans in Europe. You have the Africans who have to work 10 times harder. They're going to look at you like, you know what I had to do to get here? And then you just came from America. You're already being paid more than me. Man, I will kick you once I see you. And he never made it. He never made it. And it was so sad to see. But now I think many people learn from that. And you see more Americans doing better. But he's now a story nobody talks about. It's like a failure. So you see it in different sports. And
different sports.
Caitlin, I'm a fan of Caitlin because she's good for the women's basketball. I never followed women's basketball, to be honest. But I've seen the girl, she takes on the challenges. She's doing it. Whether she wins or loses, she's dropping buckets. And I'm like, you know what? This is good, actually, because now I'm paying attention.
Yes.
So
for sure.
We need more like this. And I think now I'm going to be following WNBA.
Yes, Well, in fact, we'll be at the draft come Monday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
nice.
but so I just think there's an indoctrination that has to happen with the rookies. And it's just a natural process. So for everybody just talking about hate, calm down. All right. So with that, we'll just leave that right there and talk briefly about the WNBA draft coming up, which is on Monday. And we'll talk about the first 5 picks. Of course, Indiana will be first, and they'll take Caitlin Clark, obviously so. So it'll be a nice dynamic there with her and Aaliyah Boston there, a nice inside-outside game. So that'll be nice. Number 2, the LA Sparks. I think they're going to throw a curveball here. And this is who I think they should take, Rickea Jackson from Tennessee. She's a player with a complete offense. She can play both ways. I think that would be the pick. This way you kind of lay back and see. I know everybody says Cameron Brink, but I think even Chicago will bypass Cameron Brink.
Overrated.
They'll take.
Why you say she's overrated?
She's overrated. I saw about 5 games of Stanford this year, and she's like, okay, what makes her so great? because
What makes her top 5?
Yeah, because when I saw the game in NCAA, I'm sitting just like, okay, she's not the best player on this team, but she's the All-American. It's like, and I saw in other games early in the season she played better, but this is the biggest stage. You got to step up,
Right.
And she did not. And she did not step up because I was telling him, I was like, yo, she's overrated.
Yeah. So that's why I say take Rakia Jackson. This way you have, because remember, you now don't have Nneka Onwumike. So that was a player there who could ball.
Right.
She could put up the points from the post position. So you need somebody to come in and step in like that. So I say take Rakia Jackson. This way, Chicago, again, I don't think Chicago's taking Cameron Brink. I think their eyes are on Carmilla Cardoza, and rightfully so. Yes. And this way, the Sparks come back. Okay, we'll take Cameron Brink. She's the California girl. We'll take her. I hear some people saying that they'll take Cameron Brink and Angel Reese. I don't know about that, but I think that's pie in the sky.
You said Chicago was?
No, the LA Sparks.
Now that has been talked about when it comes to Angel Reese and the Sparks now.
Yeah. It has been talked about because, she should be in a big market. But I tell you where I think she's going to go. I think she's going to go back home. Washington Mystics at 6.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Washington Mystics at 6.
That would be a great. I would not be mad at that.
Yeah, I think that's the spot. I think Washington is kind of playing it down to see what happens. But I think their eyes are on Angel Reese because you got to bring people into that stadium.
Yeah.
Remember, Elena Deladon, she's going to sit out this year. So you're going to need some star power. Yeah. So she would be perfect. Her and Shakira Austin, I think that'd be a nice front court over there. So that's my theory there.
There'll be people in the seats.
You got to get people in the seats. You do.
And then I'll skip down to the New York Liberty because that's a team I root for and care about. I think they'll throw a curveball here. I think they should go with Elizabeth Keatley for the Virginia Tech. She's going to be out for the year, but she's a 22-8 girl. She puts up 22 points, 8 rebounds. You don't need her because you already got Brianna Stewart.
Right.
You already got Jonquel Jones.
Right.
So you let her sit out the year, rehab, and then you bring her back the following year. That's the way I would do it. But hey, who am I to say?
So what you're saying is you just rehab the player for the year and make sure she's ready for next season.
Yes.
And that young lady can ball.
Yeah.
She definitely can ball.
22-8 is a walking bucket.
Yeah, she definitely can ball.
Right.
It's a walking bucket.
And because everybody's saying she probably won't go first round, but I think the Liberty they're loaded. So they can afford to have a player sit out for the year. So why not be one of the best players in the country? Yes.
Championship ready, Lord.
Oh, yeah. And then my kind of sleeper pick for them is Nika Mull for UConn.
Yeah.
The one who initially shut down Caitlin Clark. Yeah. That's like my sleeper pick for them. But maybe, hey, she might be there in the second round. We'll see. Because their guards got killed by the Aces in that finals.
Oh, you talking about the old lady gang?
Yes. Well, Sabrina's not old, but she's just her defense isn't there.
No.
Sabrina is she couldn't play those two ladies. She could not play. She could not guard them.
Plum. When you talk about Plum, you talk about Chelsea Gray.
The old lady gang.
Is Candace Parker coming back this year?
Yes. She says she's coming back.
No. I'm sorry, not no. But I love CP, man. I hope it's her last.
I hope it's her last too.
I really do.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no more serious injuries. Anything like that.
Yeah.
She is a phenomenal talent. Has been.
Oh yeah, I've been following her since her days with Tennessee.
Yeah, she's a walking bucket.
Yes,
still a walking. I just don't want her to get injured too.
I know.
That's just my fear.
I know.
So that's it. Love you, CP.
Yep. So we'll see what happens with the draft. So let's leave that right there. Let's talk NBA playoff scenario quick while we have some time left. And right now, here's what we know. Boston's the number one overall. We know that.
Yes.
But they could play one of 7 teams. Either Cleveland, Orlando, Indiana, Philly, Miami, Chicago, Atlanta. So we don't even know who they're
When
going
you
to
put
face.
it like that, G, you're like, yeah, you're right. You're right. When you put it like that, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like,
You don't know.
But nobody wants to face Boston.
Nobody,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Did they just set a record of being the first team
I
to a
agree
game
with
without free throws?
Yeah, that game the other night. The first game in years, they didn't have a free throw.
Wow. Because they're shooting all those threes. But that's a story for another day. And then we know that Chicago will face Atlanta in that 9-10 game in the play-in. So we know that.
Chicago's in the play.
Chicago's in the play-in.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually, I'll talk about that in a minute because that affects my Knicks. And then we know for certain in the West that Dallas will play the Clippers in that 4-5. The only thing is home court. That's still up for grabs, and that can be decided on Sunday tomorrow.
If the Clippers get home court, I'm going with the Clippers in 7. But it's going to be a close set. It's not going to be a skate type 7. It's going to be a close down to the wire 7 because Kyrie can still ball.
Yeah,
and Luka is
Kyrie
still
and
that
Luka
man.
combination.
Yeah, that is they
play
figured
against.
it out.
Yes.
In these like 20 games, these last 20 games, they figure something out and it's meshing, and that team is scary.
Yeah, they are.
Scary.
That is a scary. That's scary.
That's where I'm coming from. 2 of them playing together.
Did y'all see him hit the 3 with the layup?
Oof.
The layup 3? What? Who is this man? What are we talking about?
Gosh.
Oh my! They're scary.
They are scary.
They're scary.
The key to the whole series if Kawhi comes
Mm.
back and plays.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And that's why I said Clippers in 7 because that part. If Kawhi comes back,
you need Kawhi.
you need him.
Isn't his knee made of glass?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Let's leave that alone.
Basically, this was the most games he played, and
This is the most games he played,
right?
since he was with San Antonio.
In a while, yes, that's true.
I mean,
He's been on
always
low
has to
management
be.
for a while.
It's not. That's my point. He's not reliable. You can't really bank on him.
Well, in the playoffs,
To a degree, yes.
Yeah, it's still a factor.
The person you can't bank on is James Harden.
See, I agree with you.
Okay.
100,000%.
I take it back. I take what I said.
Now see,
I forgot
after
about
you
a
said
bigger
that,
factor.
after you said that, now my pick is coming. Like, okay, maybe I should go with the Mavericks
I stay with Dallas
because James Harden has not showed.
Because
Listen,
Kyrie has been more
to show
reliable
up.
this year. There are too many out of court factors in this playoff. In this playoff,
yes,
between these two teams, but right now Dallas looks more reliable because Kyrie has stayed focusing on basketball.
him saying James Harden,
I'm sticking
was
with
the one that
Dallas.
said, "Okay, wait, because I got to pause that pick now."
Yeah.
Hold on.
But then you think about James Harden should step his game up since he had issues with Kyrie.
So
you got
that caveat. Now, see, that's.
Are you working for Vegas? Or what? It's not.
No,
but he's making
sense.
sense.
Vegas
But
is loving what you're doing right now.
But he's making sense though.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
You didn't get it done in Philly.
Yeah.
You couldn't get it done here in Brooklyn, right? You couldn't get you
Houston,
barely got it done in Houston.
Yeah.
Barely. Even with CP, y'all went to the Western Conference Finals. Y'all had a moment where y'all could have took it, literally won it, and took it to the finals. You did not do that. You were James Harden in Houston. And you was all right here in Brooklyn. Yeah. Now you're over in Philly. You didn't do. You didn't show up.
You had your moments.
Now you're here again in the playoffs, as y'all all said eloquently. He's going to have to show up, or there is no more big contracts, my dog.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no more big contracts. Don't ask for no more super maxes. Don't ask for no more. I need 220 million. Nope. Those are done. If you do not show up, if the Clippers do not go to at least the Western Conference, at somewhat your expense, you coming out with 20, 25, something to that nature. Don't ask for no more money.
Yeah.
Don't ask for no more money.
The well is dry. The well is dry.
They already said you could play in China. So.
And then let me leave room for my Knicks, who are one game from 50 wins. Who would have thunk that?
Hey, man.
Knicks
to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro.
Hey.
Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro.
Hey. I'm ready to jump off that bridge, man.
I'm ready too. Jalen Brunson, I have been a believer, but I'm a true believer, brother.
I have to
know
rep
that,
my guy.
Okay?
Yes. But with a win against Chicago, then remember what I just said about Chicago. They locked up everything, so they're good. They can lay back in that last game. So this helps the Knicks. So Knicks get that win 1:00 tomorrow. And then Milwaukee, they have to go to Orlando. Orlando, a very improved team this year. Shout out to Jamal Mosley over there.
Where's Orlando seating right now?
Right now, they are, I want to say, 5th.
Wow. Shout out to Orlando.
5th.
Right,
yeah. So right now, a lot can be had tomorrow. But if Orlando beats Milwaukee, right now, remember, no Giannis because of the calf strain.
Injury.
And then Dame, he just sat out. So who knows if they keep him out of that last game. That is up for grabs for the Knicks, the number 2 spot. So,
what you're saying in simple terms, Milwaukee is like, Milwaukee will be playing Indiana
for the 3 and 6 spot, right?
Yeah. Instead of
potentially Knicks and Philly,
which is a possibility.
2 and a possible. Right.
Yeah. But again, all that. Let's say the Knicks even lose,
okay,
the lowest they can fall is 5 right now.
Okay,
which you don't want to do anyway. So, but I like their chances because of that Chicago game. Chicago, nothing to lose, so they can play it loosey goosey. Take a turn from our guy Clyde Frazier, but yeah, they can play it loosey goosey, and Knicks get that win, 50 wins, which I love to see them get 50 wins, but get that 2 spot. That's huge because remember, you avoid Boston until that conference finals. So there's that. But shout out to my Knicks, man. They're getting it done this year, and Coach of the Year. There's a lot of candidates.
Ooh.
Why not Tom Thibodeau for what he's going through? Randall?
Gee, I don't disagree, but we got to pump the brakes on it a little bit.
I know.
That's why I'm laughing.
I know. Because I got 3 guys that I got ahead of him.
Right.
The coach with the Thunder, Mark Daigneault.
Yeah.
Chris Finch with Minnesota. And then someone I just mentioned, Jamal Mosley with Orlando.
You have a You have a better chance to coach the OKC coach.
Yeah, I think the OKC coach will probably
because I think the whole lineup is everybody's under 27.
Yes. He's doing it with strictly young. Well, look at Mosley too. His lineup is pretty young.
Yeah, but OKC is in a better conference.
Yeah, they're in a better conference and in a better spot. I agree. And then on the low, Willie Green, what he's doing with the Pelicans is flying under the radar.
Because Zion decided
Zion's
to move away.
healthy.
Listen, how long have we been asking him to do that?
Yes.
Come on now, y'all. How long have we been asking my man to do that?
Yes.
To just take a few. I know.
He's been healthy. He seemed like he's watching.
I know it's New Orleans. Right? I know they feeding you well.
You ain't gonna put me in New Orleans, and
you good.
Let's not pull a Stephen A. and fat shame.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Listen,
I love me some Zion.
As a
name his fault. His parents named him Zion, and then you put him in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Y'all set him up.
Come on, y'all set him up. As a former big boy and still big boy at heart, I understand. You don't set me up for failure like that. You set me up to win.
That's right.
You got to set me up to win.
That's
it
right.
took a minute. Now you done set me up to win.
Big boys need representation.
Come on, man. Charles and them said it.
All for DEI.
That's a good eating town.
Yeah.
Very good eating town.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's to
the only solution is to take that team out of New Orleans and put it somewhere else.
But honestly, the Pelicans to me could be a sleeper.
They are. Yeah, I think
they
so.
could be be a sneaker. Like you said, nobody's really, talking about them. They flying under the radar right now.
Yes.
And they make the playoffs. they will be a team that you got to just kind of raise your rock eyebrow to. Like,
for sure, for sure. And then, of course, Willie Green, man, he's getting it done. He's getting it done with what he has. So you got to give them credit over there. But
the man can coach.
The man can coach, and that's the bottom line there. Quickly before we wrap up, and think about this: Phoenix, Golden State, and the Lakers. My Lord. One of those three teams might not even make the playoffs.
God damn!
Oh my God!
Don't do that to my King James.
He might not.
He might not.
And let's just keep this a beam.
Yeah.
If there was no play-in tournament to even discuss,
yes.
Yeah. Like, come on now.
Yeah,
we have the
Golden State would be a factor.
Yeah, come on, talk about it, G.
They would be a factor.
No, none of these 9 or 10 teams will be a factor until the play-in happen.
Yeah.
So if we think about it from, I guess you can say, a quote unquote old school basketball perspective, and it's not even old school. We just came into the play-in not even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The top 8 teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Period, point blank. Top 8 teams.
Yes.
9 and 10, go home, sit down, go to your kids, have fun, go to Disneyland.
Out
you know,
fishing.
that's
Get
it.
ready for the
fishing,
draft.
right? There you go,
Fishing.
fishing. You hang out with your boys, and that's
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Come back for the season next season. We'll see you next season.
Yeah.
Top 8 teams. Now we're here.
Yeah.
So it's just like we have to understand like what this play-in is doing. Like
It's added a lot of juice.
Yeah.
It has.
I
It
agree.
has.
so.
It's made the last day of the season exciting because
Mhm.
it's exciting right now. You got so many scenarios out there that can
And
take
it also
place.
it's also the West is you've seen the changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's starting to change
It's
now.
shifting.
You've
Because
seen the
remember, LeBron is no spring chicken. Curry's getting up there as well.
Yep.
And Durant, he's got the 2 knee surgeries, so he's on a wing and a prayer.
And the
So
Achilles.
Yeah.
That's
So-
Draymond gotta punch somebody.
oh god, it's funny. I talked about this. When he got ejected 4 minutes into the game, I'm like, "Come on, Draymond, come on. You got to have more self-awareness of your
too
team."
late.
I mean, you've seen it on Curry's face. You've seen it written
Oh,
all
the
on
man was
Curry's
nearly
face.
in
The man
tears.
was in
But
tears.
did
Like,
you catch when after the game they was going into the tunnel? First guy there was like Draymond
Yes.
Green, like
yeah, like, ooh, you put him to view, you still won. Like, bro, like,
You should
I
have
can
played.
only imagine what was going through Curry's
Like,
mind. Like, bro, I'm giving
bro,
you this
where were
hug and this
you?
dap out of love because there's so
the
many
cameras was
cameras
on.
around me.
Yeah,
But we
in the
go in
locker
this
room-
back in the locker room, I'ma fry you up. Like, it's not even a game.
Yes,
What is your you know we need you
we need
at
you.
this crucial time.
That's the problem. That guy should have been dealt with years
You're
back.
right. You're right.
And
You're right.
You
I
know,
don't disagree.
he's
I don't
responsible
disagree.
for Jordan Poole.
I was about
He
to
gave
say
that
Jordan
guy-
Poole.
Yes.
Well, I'll say allegedly, but he gave that guy CTE. That guy never recovered from that sucker punch. That guy never been the same since that sucker punch.
You right.
It's
That
also
No, he's right.
You're right.
agree.
I agree with that, but it's also called "Don't run your mouth if you can't fight."
That's a great.
But
that's a thing.
that wasn't a fight. That wasn't a
I'm
that
not lying.
because that punch came from nowhere.
Wait,
Go ahead.
Well, before you do that,
okay,
before,
But
before you do that, let me say, All Things Basketball with GD does not advocate violence.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
These are not the views of GD. These are the views of mine.
Yeah.
But it's worse when you knock out somebody and they catch the person before the person falls. So that's not a fight. And that brother woke up a different person after that. Never been able to play basketball the same again.
Oh,
and I was like,
what's going on in Washington?
They should have let that guy. They should have let Draymond go and just still keep encouraging him. He's not going to change
But why would they do that?
You can't teach your grandmother how to eat boiled eggs. That's what they've been trying to do. You can't.
I never heard
Your
that.
that's an African proverb.
I'm definitely gonna take that
that
one.
you gotta
Take that one.
You can't teach your grandmother how to eat boiled eggs.
I'm like,
Too
okay,
late.
let me write that down.
Yeah, too
you
late.
gotta wait.
I agree with you. And okay. No, Jordan Poole should not have probably been running his mouth because
But
more than
that
likely
happens
that is what you're doing. You're young, you just won a championship,
You just got paid.
you just got paid.
Yes.
more because Draymond didn't get his contract yet, right at the time.
His contract yet.
So you just got paid this 2-year $100 million. So you 4-year $100 million. So you spending. I'm championship and I help my team. I'm killing it.
Yeah.
All right, new season, new everything. Blah, 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 blah. You feeling yourself a little too much.
That's what it was.
Right?
That's what it was.
I'm not taking away from what Jordan Poole did or didn't do. He probably aggravated the situation. However, Draymond in every situation escalates the situation to a degree where it does not need to be. Bro, he pushed you, and he didn't even push you hard. He did a light shove. You mollywopped this man, and then you caught him. Like, I ain't mean to do it, bro. I'm sorry. No, it's too late. It's okay, bro.
But that's where that was the time you should have disciplined him.
The organization.
The organization rewarded him.
But the organization's not going to do that. The organization's not going to do nothing because you're making the organization a lot of money. You have been for the last 8 years, almost decade
now.
Yeah, I get that.
You're cemented in Golden State Warriors history. Now that doesn't. I don't agree with y'all in saying
it wouldn't have changed anything if they gave him the proper punishment then, because he's already part of the legacy.
And you have to take example for your young players,
right?
That this kind of behavior is not condoned.
Yes, you also should set example. Don't piss off somebody you can't beat up.
That's a fact.
Well, teammates, that will not change. Teammates gonna fight no matter what.
Yeah, that's
gonna fight. But he's the veteran because he got his own show. He talking about respect and all that stuff. Like this, you're the vet. You were supposed to show that respect then, and you knocked the kid out. And now it's too late.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not the guy will never. I don't know if that. But I don't know. We got to call the Ghostbusters to find his ghost and put it back. Now, because if they can find the guy's ghost wherever it went, I don't know. But
can I ask this question? When it comes to the play-in, and it comes to those 3 teams you said, Phoenix, LA, and Golden State.
Yes.
Out of those 3 teams, who do you think has the best chances to possibly make it to the Western Conference Final? Possibly. I don't give them the chance to go to the finals because going over Denver, it's not happening.
That's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be a very tall task right now.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this just I have no choice. It's the Lakers.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say
I'm biased, but
I was gonna say.
And as much as I don't like the Lakers,
it's the Lakers.
Yeah, LeBron guys.
Yeah,
so I gotta go Lakers.
Yes.
And it's not I don't like LeBron. I just don't like the Lakers.
Right.
I never used to like Lakers until LeBron joined them.
My only fear is with AD in that eye.
Well, that's another glass.
That's my fear. Has that hindered him so that he can't play his game?
Did he get hit now?
Yeah, he got hit.
Oh, he got hit. Okay.
And that's another thing. He should wear goggles because a bunch of he should wear goggles. I think it's the 3rd or 4th time he got hit now.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're right there.
Yeah, he definitely.
It's not like we don't have the technology.
Yeah,
they definitely do.
And they came a long way from Kareem goggles.
In the 90s, we had.
Yeah.
So I mean, we in 2024. It's not like okay.
Oh,
man, they need to hire me, man. Some of these people.
New York.
I am expensive. Just
do you think Miami is going to make a run like they did last year?
Geez.
I think they're a different team than they were last year. I mean, sure, they got Tyler Hero back, which is a help.
Mm-hmm.
They have Rozier now, which is a help. Everything rests with Jimmy Butler. Are you going to get playoff Jimmy?
Right.
That's where it all
that's
rests at.
And that's what you don't want to see if you the top seed. You don't want to see Jimmy Butler decide like, okay, I really didn't play well all year.
Because that's what he do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he do.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy Butler's secret.
What's the secret?
What's the secret?
Shakira, man.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Well, that playoff comes, she whispers something, them Colombia, Lebanese secret in his ear. That guy just,
I don't know.
Just as long as he don't come out in an emu.
That's it. It's like them Super Saiyan.
I don't know. They always scare me during this time.
That's why it goes Super Saiyan.
They're scary.
Yeah.
And then remember, if Knicks get that 2 spot and Miami has to play whoever's in the 8 spot, provided they don't jump up to 6, then they would love to get that 7th spot and play the Knicks.
Jesus.
I took a heat for that. I'm on a vacation and I'm on a cruise ship and watching the basketball game, and Miami fans was giving me the business.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me and the other Knicks fan. The other Knicks fan walked away from me. And it's like 2 Knicks fans and about 50 Miami fans. They giving me the business.
Oh,
my wife walked past me and it's like, I feel for you, and walked away.
Yeah,
She denied you?
Yeah, they was giving me the business. And I was hoping the internet connection on the ship was like, come on, just mess up.
At least y'all team made it to the playoffs. Detroit is abysmal.
Detroit, wow.
Abysmal.
Okay, we got some time, right? Your GM, Troy Weaver.
Yes.
You think he's gone?
After this season?
Yeah.
Yes.
Monty Williams stays?
Has to.
I think he stays, but I think the GM is gone.
Has to stay.
Yeah.
You don't pay him that much money with that contract not to after one season.
Yes.
Even though it was an abysmal season. As a Detroiter, that was terrible.
Yeah.
That was tragic.
Yes.
To have a wonderful football season, to have a wonderful turnaround football season.
Oh, the Lions, yeah.
And on one hand, to have one sports team going on an incline, and then the other one is just, it was past decline. It was just like,
I expect them to be that bad. I knew they'd be not a playoff team.
When we had Andre Drummond, and I love Andre Drummond, when we had him, we weren't terrible.
Yeah.
We made it to the playoffs every year.
Now
decent. We were we were decent. We had the 7th, 8th spot every year, top 8. We in the playoffs. Okay, we ain't getting out the first round. Cool, no problem. But at least we making it to the playoffs. At least we winning 40 plus games. We couldn't even win 20 games, y'all.
I think they did win 20.
Did we win 20?
They 20 or close. I think they're close to it.
I don't know.
Last time I checked, we couldn't even crack 20. 20. We couldn't even crack that. We got Kate Cunningham. We have all of these young stars. We got Monty Williams.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, I think you have to figure out that back.
And
you're right.
That's the problem. You have all these young stars, and it's like a bunch of people,
veterans. Yep.
A bunch of people are not. Monty Williams is a good coach.
He is.
Monty Williams is a good coach. You have a bunch of young players, but you can't have 6 of your 7 roster people are young players.
Yeah.
You need a veteran or somebody to say like, a veteran's got to know how to do something with these kids.
Yeah, that right balance.
And I think going out on a limb here, but I think the Ivy kid, Jaden Ivey, I think he gets dealt. I think he gets dealt in the offseason.
Yeah.
For some reason, Monty and him didn't
mesh.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Once you don't mesh with somebody in the NBA, it seems like these players you be in your 6th year you be the 6th year if you're still in the NBA, and you be on your 7th team already.
Yeah. And then remember too, that was supposed to be Ivy coming in that deal and not Alec Burks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be Ivy coming. So that's how they don't even want him there. He almost ended up being a Knick.
It's sick.
Yeah.
I love you, Pistons, but it's sick.
Yes.
Help my man.
It is, man.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have a top draft pick this year coming up,
of
and
course.
It's like,
and it's just
you might as well don't draft anybody
over the Hornets.
It's like an every year thing. Like I said, ever since Andre Drummond got left and got traded, I think our kind of just we're in the bottom tier of the pack, but we make the playoffs type of energy is just it's done. It's been done for a long time. Right. What I believed was I thought Monty Williams was at least going to come in and try to help mold these young players, because I know we had a lot of young ones on the team. Right. And then we had a lot coming in. Right. So you have to have kind of a young minded coach like him to kind of understand these players. I get that. But to not even win 30 games, y'all, come on, bro. Like that is abysmal. That's tragic.
It is abysmal, but some of these young players, some of these young players, is like You played a year in college ball.
Mm-hmm.
You played a year, and a bunch of these players is like
Or a couple of years.
a couple of years, and it's like you sit there and it's like, okay, can these people really play?
Can they play?
Yes. And that's and you have to, and as a coach, you have to bring that out them. And a bunch of them don't like being coached hard, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because if you could coach, what's the center name for them?
Wiseman.
Wiseman.
Oh,
Wiseman. It's like Golden State gave up on this kid, and it's like
that's saying something.
And then it's like, was he that bad?
That's saying something.
And it's like, was he that bad? Is he that bad? And it's like, I don't want to give up on it. The kid is what, 23?
Yes.
You don't want to give up on somebody, but it's like, is he that bad?
Yeah.
That's a great point there.
Right.
And the problem with these, like these one and dones, or you don't go to college at all. Some of these people you can play, but some of these coaches be sitting there like, okay, can this kid really play?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Can he play defense? You got to find your niche with some of these coaches for you can be around for another 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I could give you two examples right out of the Knicks, of course. Cam Reddish, he's bouncing around now. And then Kevin Knox, he's bouncing around now.
Both of them should have stayed in school.
Oh, yeah.
And Kevin Knox, I'm an official person. It's like, why are you leaving?
Well, I think that was more of a Calipari thing.
But that's a whole different story talking about him. Because you don't go there. You don't go. It's just like, it's great if you can go someplace and develop. But his motto is like, oh, you play well, you get an NBA contract.
Right.
But the problem is like, do you want the second NBA contract? The first contract is decent, more money than we're making, but it's decent. But the next contract is real money.
Yeah.
But a bunch of these people not getting the second contract because that's what they should do with Calipari. How many of his players, his one and dones, got second contracts?
Yeah.
That's a good.
That's a good.
Now that's a good study to look into.
Yes, for sure.
Because some of these people are leaving. It's like you be sitting. It's like, oh, this guy was great in college, or he was a great high school player.
Then
what happened in 10 years? It's like you don't see him. It's like he's playing in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And then that's the thing. You're kicking the can down the road, saying, "Oh, the next coach, he'll develop him." And then once that coach get him, like, where's his kid skills at?
Right.
Where's his fundamentals? So that's a story for another day.
Well, and there's also the same thing with that is what is your desire? Do you realize, okay, I got $2 million, $3 million. Or what is my desire? What do I want to do? Do I want to get better?
Yeah.
And then in another part, when you have an agent, a bunch of these agents, you be sitting there, it's like, okay, you want to keep making money off this kid, right? Are you going to get him the people he needs for he can develop too?
Right.
Because if you're not an agent that's going to help this kid to develop, it's like, okay, I got him this contract, but what about the next contract?
Perfect example, Giannis's agent. He got him to bulk up. He got him.
If you look at Giannis when he was drafted,
man,
and because
I think people don't remember that. They don't take the time to think about Giannis when he first came in.
Right.
Yeah,
he was skinny,
and you look at
lanky.
He was a rail,
yeah.
And you look at it, you be sitting there like, because you look at it like, how did he get so good?
How did he?
Because he worked his butt off.
Hard work, and his agent helped him.
Yep.
And that's what the real agent is.
Yeah.
So many people dogged him and said like, "Oh, he's not gonna. No, it's not gonna turn out to be. He can't defend this. He can't defend." And then all of a sudden, we seen this man just transform.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before our very eyes, like we was like, "Yo, wait, that's Giannis. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay."
Especially the people that picked on him when he was a rookie.
Yes,
and now he's like,
man.
okay, he just dunked me into the third row, and it's this doesn't look good.
Yep. For sure. Yeah. Well, do I have time or?
I thought you were keeping the time.
Man,
I didn't.
Yeah. So we can wrap.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can start wrapping.
All right, guys. So thank you for tuning into this special 200th episode, guys.
Yes.
So just to go around the room, how can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Epic Echo Productions, on almost all platforms except for TikTok because we're not there anymore because I know they're going to get pulled too.
And then Raphael, White Label American, of course.
Yes, sir.
Yes, whitelabelamerican.com is the easiest place to find me. All my socials are there. TikTok is something different that's there. It's Afrigo podcast, something I tried during the African Cup of Nations. So yeah, don't be surprised if you always see me talking about African soccer over there. But I'm on all socials. I don't really do stuff on X, but the X or Twitter. I call it Twitter. But, yeah, but mostly on Instagram. I'm active and Spotable and Thread.
Yes. D, I know you don't want nobody following you. And for myself, all things basketball with GD.com. That's the website. That's sportsdugd@gmail.com. You can email me there. And to support the show, Spotify, I got a buy me a coffee button on my website. You can find that there. PayPal, paypal.me, GD that sports dude, and Cash App, $GD that sports dude.